Yes, love. Come to me. He will love me so much. It's happening. What the hell are you doing? My child is doomed. Doomed. She is doomed. Hello lovely beings, welcome back again to my channel Amourinette. My name is Cindy, and for today's video I am going to show you an intense and powerful love spell for you. So if you are a returning subscriber, you may know that in the past few months, I think it was February or March, last February or March, I actually created this easy and simple but powerful love spell video on my channel, but that was focusing more for the beginners, and that love spell was definitely much simpler. So in this video I want to get even in deep, okay, with this love spell. This is definitely more complicated than the first one, so if you haven't watched that video, I still highly recommend you to watch that so you can at least get a better understanding about how energy works in general, in a nutshell. And if you are new here to my channel, then welcome to the family. My name is Cindy, and in this place I often do artsy painting videos, while I also like to share topics of spirituality, personal growth like law of attraction, and of course witchcraft as well. Okay, so don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends if you find it informative and helpful. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell ring so you won't miss any new videos, okay? And you can always connect with me personally on my Instagram as well at Amourinette. And if you are interested in my art shop and many other things, you can check out my website at cindyantoinette.com. Okay, so before we begin with this video, I also would like to start with a little bit of a disclaimer, okay? In this video, for those of you who do practice witchcraft seriously, I just want to let you know that any of my spell work videos are for the purpose of bringing you information. In other words, if you don't have some of the stuff that I have, that is okay. You should still find your own way, your own creativity in your own work, in your own rituals and spell. Last but not least, another disclaimer. Sometimes people get a little bit mixed up with the things that I do or that I practice in this channel, and sometimes people would ask me, don't you think that doing a love spell is interfering with somebody's free will? Don't you think that is manipulative? Don't you think that is causing harm for the other person? Well, here is the thing. Any type of love spell, especially love spell work that I do in my channel, is all about amplifying the energy of love, beauty, and compassion that you already have with that person, okay? So for me personally, I would always highly recommend you to do a love spell if you are already in a connection with that person, or at least you know that person, and even better, you do know that that person is available, that person has at least some type of attraction or chemistry towards you, okay? So you can do this for your crush, you can do this for your current love partner, but some people also ask me if they can do this to attract their future spouse or their future soulmate. So if you don't have anybody particular in mind, you don't have anybody specific, that is okay. You can actually still do this spell work by putting the focus, the intention of attracting that future spouse. And energy does not know time, space, and distance, so you can definitely do so. And other than that, again, when it comes to the free will, no, this spell work does not interfere with somebody's free will, let alone their higher self free will. And so I would highly recommend you to please do not mess around with spell work as if it's a it's a funny game type of thing, and you just take it too easy, because this can actually be powerful and intense. And so you also have to respect the energy of other people as well, you know. Okay, so I am done with the intro and the disclaimer. So with that being said, okay, we are going to start with all of the tools that we would need for this love spell to work. So first and foremost, the most important essential tool is of course a piece of paper and a pen. Now when it comes to your pen, you can either use a black ink pen, a gold ink pen, or a red ink pen. Okay, for this one I'm just going to use the regular black ink pen and the piece of paper, because in this love spell work we are going to use the technique of petition. Now other than that, another essential tools are of course 3 candles. Okay, as you can see here, I have 3 red candles. Now when it comes to the color, you can actually just choose whichever color that works best for you, okay, because each color has their own vibration. If for example you feel that the color green can actually represent the energy of love and growth better for you, then by all means choose a green colored candle. But for me, I would of course choose either white or red, and this one we are going to be using red, okay, because we are going to channel a lot of love and chemistry and a passionate energy. So only pick 3 candles, and I also have my candle holder here with me. And then the last essential tool, which is very important, okay, is a red thread. Okay, if you don't have it, then you probably would need to buy it, because like I said, this is actually one of the key tool in this love spell. You would need a red thread. Okay, now another thing, that if you would like to amplify the love energy, especially more on the softer side, you know, when it comes to beautifying the love, the compassion, and the adoration type of energy that you want in your connection, is of course by using rose quartz crystal. Okay, this is just an additional tool. This is not essential, but this can definitely help you to amplify the energy. Now when it comes to the shape of the crystal, if you would like to amplify the love energy in a very powerful and raw type of energy, especially if you are somebody that is, you know, very fiery, or that you would like to attract somebody that is very fiery, then I would recommend you to work with this, you know, like a cluster of crystal, or this type of raw shape crystal. But if you would like to focus on your intention of just bringing in a lot of smoothness, a lot of, you know, focus from your person to you, you know, you want to attract that, then you can use this type of crystal, you know, with the pointy edge, because with this type of shape, this is going to represent that you are really focused on your intention of attracting that person, and that person is going to have a sharp laser focus, okay, on you, on your connection, okay, and being very attracted to you. And last but not least, another additional tools, if you would like, I would recommend you to pick up some rose petals, and actually dried rose petals. As you can see here, I have a jar of dried rose petals, and then I have rosemary as well. Now I like to use this, it's because, you know, for rosemary, it smells really great when you burn it, and rosemary often represents sweetness, love, but of course protection from the divine, you know, from the universe, or whatever type of energy that you work with. And with dried rose petals, of course, rose represents love, compassion, you know, passion and chemistry and all of that. So with these tools, I will be burning them later in the progress of the spell work. But then again, if you don't have them, it's okay, it's not essential. And of course, a dagger, a knife, or just any sharp object, but I would highly recommend you to have something that is really aesthetic, you know, something that is really beautiful and elegant. So this is just going to act, you know, as a form of protection if, okay, just if throughout the progress of you doing the spell work suddenly you feel too intense or that you feel uncomfortable, you can easily cut away the attachment, you can easily cut away, okay, and cleanse the energy by using this, you know, ritual knife. Okay, so finally we are going to start with the spell work, okay? And so just keep in mind that you don't have to light all of the candles just yet. In fact, I recommend you not to light them just yet, okay? Because we will be using this red thread with the candles later on. So now let us start with the petition paper, okay? So what we are going to do is that we are going to rip this paper into the shape of a triangle. And why a triangle? It's because a triangle represents 3 sides, and 3 in itself is a very powerful master number, okay? It's a very spiritual number in numerology, as a life path number as well. You know, there are just many meanings when it comes to the number 3. But then again, overall, the number 3 represents the energy of creation, creativity, giving birth, growth, you know. And so I think working with the number 3 can represent a lot of creation, a lot of new beginnings, or giving birth to a new start, to a new romance, you know. So you can see it that way. And so the way that we are going to rip this paper is that for you to pull your paper towards you, okay? Because if you pull your paper towards you, that would represent you attracting that energy, you pulling that energy, you pulling in that specific person, okay? If you would like to banish somebody from your life, then you would, you know, break the paper, not break, but you would rip the paper outward, okay? Outward like that. So I'm just going to rip the paper towards me, okay? While focusing on the intention of attracting that person into my life, for that person to feel my loving energy. So now we are going to rotate this clockwise, okay? And we would rip it again. And remember, you don't have to make it perfect, okay? Because it's impossible for you to rip a paper into a perfectly perfect triangle shape. So that's okay. What's important is that you focus on your intention. It's always about intention. Remember, the magic is in you, okay? These are all tools, but the magic is within you. So last side, rotate it to clockwise, and we rip it like so. It's okay. You can just, you know, take your time. You don't need to rush it. And there we go. We have a triangle shape rip paper. And the reason why you have to rip it with your hand instead of cut it, it's so that you can give it a more natural, organic feel, you know, so that you can actually, you know, touch your tool with your hand and directly put your magic and energy into the practice. Now, let us start with the petition. With your pen, you can either write your person's name, you know, their full name or their first name. If you don't know their full name, that's okay. If you know their birth date, that is also okay. But even better, okay, if you would really like to make this love spell powerful, I would recommend you to write a whole sentence. So for example, you would write, Joan Doe is so in love with me, or Joan Doe is in a loving relationship with me. But, you know, to at least balance out the energy so that it doesn't sound too harsh at least, or too forcing, I would say, you know, I would recommend you to write something that Joan Doe is in a loving and healthy relationship with me, okay? And we will write that 3 times. So I'm just going to, you know, as an example, I will write that Joan Doe is in a loving, healthy relationship with me. Okay? And I know that this is such a long sentence. Again, you can just get creative. So if you don't really have time to write something this long, you can just say that John Doe is in love with me. Okay? And if you would like to make it even shorter, you can just write John Doe as his full name, you know, and then his birthday. For example, 22 June 1992. But this is just an example, okay? If you decide to go with this sentence, then you have to write this sentence 3 times, okay? The exact same sentence. Do not write it like this, okay? This is just an example. So if you would like to write John Doe is in a loving, healthy relationship with me, then you would write it 3 times. John Doe is in a loving, healthy relationship with me. And then you write it again. John Doe is in a loving, healthy relationship with me. And then John Doe is in a loving, healthy relationship with me, okay? 3 times. So if you're already done with that, we are going to actually write it again, okay? And this time we are going to rotate the paper this way, and we would write the same exact sentence that you choose 3 times again. So just as an example, so that I can, you know, make it quick for you, I will write John Doe is in love with me, okay? And then I would write it again. John Doe is in love with me. And last, we are going to write again, John Doe is in love with me. And you may be wondering, is it okay to write, you know, the writings on top of each other? Yes, it's okay. It actually works that way. Now, when you are done, last step, another one, we will write it again 3 times. We would rotate this paper again, like so, and write the same exact sentence again 3 times. So all in all, we are going to write each sentence 3 times in 3 sets, okay? So this is really interesting because this would encompass the number 3, 6, and 9, which is really, really powerful. Again, like I said, 3 is a master spiritual number. And the number 6 often represents abundance, you know, love, compassion, sexuality as well, or I mean sensuality, okay? Okay, that type of energy. And other than that, and the number 9 is basically the last final number of the entire, what you can call a spiritual number, you know. Number 9 is a very enlightening number. It's a very spiritual number. So with all of these numbers and the numerology and the energy combined, this makes this love spell really powerful. So last time, okay, we are going to write again that John Doe is in love with me. And we would just repeat that, in love with me. And last but not least, John Doe is in love with me. And not to worry about a little bit of my messy handwriting, I just, you know, have to show it to you. And so there you go, we are practically done. Now the last step for you is to roll the paper, okay? We would roll it in like so. Remember to roll the paper inwards. Okay, roll the paper inwards so that it would represent you attracting that energy and attracting that person. Okay, so we are done with this. Now you can just put this aside for the moment, or this is when the rose quartz crystal come in handy. So either you would like to use this or you would like to use this one, that is up to you. So for this one, I am just going to use this one as a weight. So I would put this paper here, and I'm just going to put this crystal on top of it like so. Now, the reason why I do this, it's because this crystal is going to infuse its loving and passionate energy onto this petition paper. So I'm just going to put this aside for now. So we have our 3 candles. Now, do not light them just yet. Okay, what we would need to do is to finally pick up our red thread. I have to find the edge. Where is it? Ah, there you go. Okay, so we have it here. I am going to pick up this candle first, and then we will go for this candle and then this candle, okay? And what we're going to do is to wrap this thread around the candle either 3 times, 6 times, or 9 times. Okay, so like so. Just wrap it like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. For this one, I'm just going to go with 6. Now I will put it over here. Take this candle and wrap it around again. So, wait, like so. 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And put it over here. Pull your thread again, and finally with the last candle, okay, let me, all right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now I know this can be a little bit tricky and it can be a little bit complicated, but that is okay. Okay, like I said, you don't have to make everything too perfect. Okay, so now that we are done, I am going to pull out this thread just a little bit longer again, so I can tie this last knot onto the first candle. So I'm pulling it out, and with this ritual dagger, I'm just going to, yep, there you go. And we have the edge or the end of the thread. Going to pick this up again, and I am going to wrap the last part of the knot to the first candle. Again, like I said, I know this can be a little bit complicated. It can be a little bit messy, but that's okay. So we are done, and put it over here. And as you can see, we have a triangle shape. Now this is where you are going to light each of your candle. Just be careful, okay? And remember, if you do any fire spell work, always have your windows or a little bit of your door open. And the last one. And all of our candles are lit. And this is where you would pick your paper again and put it in the middle like so. Now this comes the time for you to meditate upon it, okay? So you can just take some bit of time, whether it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, however, just, you know, be in the moment. Focus on your intention, focus on your spell work, focus on this paper of petition. Just focus and meditate upon it. This is important because this is the time that you really focus and put all of your energy work, all of that magic from within you onto the spell work. Now, if you would like, or if you would prefer to use this crystal, that is okay. You can put it on top like so. Okay, like that. But for the sake of this video and for its safety, I'm just going to use this one. If you have fresh rose petals, you can just, you know, pick some fresh rose petals and throw it around to, you know, to, I would say, represent the love energy. So now that you are done meditating upon this, I'm going to blow out 2 candles, but I will leave this one still lit, okay, because this is going to have another purpose later on. So I'm going to blow this out and this one. There you go, and let the smoke go up into the universe after you put your intention in. So I'm just going to gently put this away for now, and I'm still going to let this one burn. Now we are going to take this paper back again. This is where it gets really interesting, and this is why I said that the red thread is a very, very essential tool and is actually the key in this love spell work. I am going to put this away, and now I am going to gently pull back the thread that we already work with here. I'm going to take away this thread that we already use on the candles on this ritual, going to pull them out. Now this, with this red thread, we are now going to seal this piece of paper. Okay, so with this paper, we are just going to tie in the thread around like so, like that. Tie it all together. And I am just going to tie it together. You don't have to make it into a ribbon, of course, if it's too difficult. Just going to tie them into a simple knot like so. And I'm going to do it 3 times. Okay, so that was 1. And then we have 2, and 1 last time we tie a knot, and we have, oops, 3. Okay, so we are done sealing this paper petition. Now this is where the candle is going to play a big part. So now we are going to use this one last lit candle, and what we're going to do is that we are going to actually use the hot wax from this candle to seal this petition paper. So do it very carefully and gently. Just pick up the candle. I'm going to put the paper over here, and I will just put the hot wax around the paper like so. Okay, as you can see, I'm just doing it on top of the threads, top of the paper. You don't have to, like, you know, make sure that it's sealed completely as if you are literally putting a piece of paper and dip it into hot wax. I mean, you don't have to do that, okay? This is just a symbol of energy that you are sealing your petition in. Now we are on to the last step. Now if you don't have some of these tools, which are the rosemary and the dried rose petals, that is okay. So this is not necessary, but it's a really wonderful addition of energy work. So I would take 3 dried rose petals. Let me take one. Okay, so I have 3 and 1 rosemary. So we're going to work with that. Okay, so now I am going to first burn these 3 rose petals, and these were actually white roses, As I said, again, when it comes to color, as with the candles as well, that is up to you. If you would like to use a dried white rose petals or red rose petals or pink rose petals, that is up to you. But this is what I have now with me, which I still love. It smells great, and I mean rose, you know, it's one of the most common flower to be known for love and passion. So I am just going to burn 3 of them. And as I burn this rose petal, I'm just putting this paper on top of it and make sure that it is catching up the smoke. And let the smoke touch around this paper like so. So you don't have to do it. Like I said, this is just an additional part. I am going to pick up the rosemary. Now, rosemary is going to represent beauty, sweetness, and of course protection, especially protection. And I just love, love, love the smell of a burning rosemary. And as you can see, I'm just putting this paper on top of this burning rosemary. You know, as you can see, I hope you can see it. Yeah, you can see it in the camera, like so. And practically we are done with the love spell. That's it. That is the last step. And with this paper, you can just like keep it on your altar, or you can put it in your purse. You can carry it around with you, whatever you would like to do. This is up to you. If at one point you decide to throw this away, at least do it in a respectful way, okay? Either you would throw it by burning this off completely and let the ash run through, you know, water. All right, so that is the video. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, don't forget to subscribe and let me know down below in the comments. Let's have a discussion. If you have any ideas, if you have any suggestion, questions, and whatever they may be, just comment down below. Or if you would like to connect with me personally, you can also contact me on my Instagram at Amourinette. As always, I'm always active there. And yeah, I will definitely be back with more videos of witchcraft, more love spells, and even sexual love spells as well, and many other more things to come. Okay, so yeah, that's it for today. I will be back again, and I will see you again, my love. Goodbye. Okay. I cannot take myself seriously. Oh my god. For the sake of video, nggak ada yang ngeliatin gue, walaupun gue tahu ada yang ngeliatin gue. Just whoosh. This is just me and you, camera. Just me and you.